Yeah, and hi again, everybody. Jim Stevens back with you, joined by Brad Lorene as we bring you the marquee event of this weekend as it's time for the MoneyBall Doubles Final. $1,500 for first, $900 for second. It's Robert Mares, Dan Barber on the left. It is Adrian Zamora, James Castillo on the right. Brad, these two played last night in what really was a great match.
That was exciting, actually. It was a heck of a match, and unfortunately the fifth game kind of got one-sided, but boy, up to that point it was filled full of all kinds of different things that were going on that just represent just how great these guys really are.
Referee for the match, Dan Tybal, and we're going to talk about it already. There was a little bit of controversy last night.
Talking about right now the ball moving with the resets. These tables are a little, let's say, loose would be the right way to put it.
And sometimes it's the carpeting as well, which is a little bit thick. And so really what it comes down is you got to adapt to the circumstances.
Right. Both teams obviously have to play on the same table, so they're going to have the circumstances for both.
I do notice that Tybal does not have a timer. You've got to have a timer. If you're going to call resets,
yes,
you must have a timer. And why wouldn't you have a timer?
I think they might be discussing that right now. Yep, they just asked for a timer. You know, while they're getting a timer out, I think we should really look at our partners, some of the contributors that have really helped us out to get to where we've been here in the last 6 months, 9 months.
Yeah, we can do that, and working a couple of things here.
I'd like to say hi to Rishab out there.
Is Rishab watching? Is Rishab watching?
Watching, yeah. He told me to smile more often. Can you believe that?
No. Yes. All right. Now we've brought in Don Caesar, one of the, there you see Don over there in the red shirts, one of the men behind MoneyBall. He's going to time. Dan Tybal is going to officiate. And it's 1-0. You're in the first game in favor of Mares and Barber. Nice pass there. And you mentioned Rishab Singhane watching out there. Rishab has come on board as a contributor, as a partner in what we're doing, and we like to thank him. And he's going to be providing content moving forward. And thanks for all that he's bringing to the Inside Foods TV product.
He's been able to help us organize our business aspects and kind of hone in on some of the things that Inside Foods TV will be doing for the future.
Yeah, and looking forward here in about 4 weeks, we're going to have a full crew in Las Vegas. Clay Toomey, who everybody loves, is a statistician, is a player, and is just an all-around guy. But he'll be there to do the stats and also contribute to the Inside Foods TV product. Looking forward to that. So both of those guys who are significant members of the Inside Foods TV team, thanks to both of you. Looking forward to working with both of you and taking this to where we really believe it can go.
Well, it will go. This is, you've got the talent, Jim, that we just don't see out there anywhere. And it's fantastic to be able to work with you. Even though I'm underpaid and underloved, of course.
Oh, we love you.
That's cheap.
Here's Zamora. It's 2-1 here in the first game. Favor of Mares and Barber, and they won the winner's bracket, so of course Zamora and Castillo must come back and win 2 consecutive best 3 out of 5s to come back and win the MoneyBall title. $1,500 for first, $900 for second. And it's that kind of money that really draws these big guys in. Of course, they also love competition. They don't want to travel all the way down to the Sunshine State this weekend, and so they're up here in Oregon. And what's the official name of Oregon? It's the
It's the Beaver State.
The Beaver State, of course it is. Yeah. Tied up at 2 here in game number 1. But thanks so much to RFDAS Security Systems, Darren Bowen, and his involvement with what we're doing, as Mara is able to fire that one home to make it 3-2. In 3 weeks, I'll be up in New York, Brad, for the New York State Junior Championships.
You have been looking forward to that for a long time.
I have.
This is really going to give a whole different look and feel. We got a timeout there by Robert.
3-2 lead early on here for Robert Mares and Dan Barber. But yeah, we'll be up in New York for the New York Junior Championships. It's a one-day event, and we're basically going to do a telethon to raise money, to buy tables for schools. And you know, there are, I think, more than 30 programs now in 10 different states with Foosball Clubs USA, and we want that to become 300. We want to be in 50 states, and that's really what it's all about: spreading the word of
sharing.
Yeah, of Foosball Clubs USA, and getting the kids involved and making sure that they have tables to play on, and making sure that we have programs throughout the country. 3-2 lead early on here for Robert Mares and Dan Barber, but definitely looking forward to that. Again, 8 hours of table soccer live. We'll have interviews that we have recorded. We will have Inside Foos classic videos.
There's going to be a lot of content to be put out there. That's great.
Yeah, it should be a lot of fun. Looking forward to it. James Castillo, who was in the forward position, grabs it on the 5. We'll call timeout and bring Adrian back into the forward position. So head over to Foosball Clubs USA for more information on that, as we are getting closer and closer to what should be a really great day of foosball up in New York.
Well, Jim, I know you're going to miss me. You know, I'm not going to be there, but I'm also got to go play in a match right now.
You're up.
So you are on your own.
Well, thanks for joining us, Brad. Thanks for spending a little time up here and talking some foosball, talking some Inside Foos TV. Here's Adrian Zamora, looking to even it up at 3 here in game number 1. Picked up here by Mares. Shot attempt near side, blocked and taken away by Castillo. That's a big block there for James, who is just so consistent and solid in that goalie position. Yeah, and that one up into the air and off the table. Still 3-2 here in the first game. Barber setting it up dead center, trying to bring it down the middle. Blocked by Castillo. The rebound scooped up by Mares. Robert walks it. Trying to come near side, able to squeeze it in just between the man and the corner of the goal. It's 4-2. It's such a pleasure to have two of maybe the 10 best American players of all time here on display on table number 1, in Robert Mares and Adrian Zamora, two Hall of Famers, two easy, obvious Hall of Famers. And a chance here for Robbie to put away game number 1 as he sets it up and strokes it home. So strong opening game performance from Robert Mares and Dan Barber. And they lead 1-0.
Yes, sir.
Here we go. Second game underway. Mares and Barber leading Adrian, Zamora, and James Castillo. 1-0. And Zamora will set it up against Barber. Shot attempt blocked by Dan. Comes back to Zamora. $1,500 for first, folks. Nice payday. And we're going to get a switch early on here as Zamora will move back. Castillo will move forward. Pass along the wall by Mares. He's been pretty much unstoppable so far. Robbie fires it home against Zamora. It's 1-1.
Yes.
They've got to find a way to keep it away from Mares and keep him out of the goal. He has been sensational so far. You can hear it in talking. You can hear the energy. You can hear how much he wants it. And when you're playing for $1,500, you understand that. And there's Zamora with authority stroking it home.
Ready?
Getting the switch. And here's Zamora back there at goal. Adrian's pull kick angles towards Barber's goal, and Dan able to pick it up, and he'll bring it across and set it up dead center. Look at the straights, look at the pass, and look at Castillo steal it. Let's see if James is going to call timeout. Yes, he is. Bring Zamora back into the forward position.
One for you, we got two? Yeah, you guys got both. You guys got one. 10 seconds. Ready?
Adrian Zamora will put the ball back into play. Looking to increase his team's lead here in game number 2. Zamora from pull shot position, shooting against Dan Barber. And he fires it home. It's 3-1. Nice response here in this second game from Adrian Zamora and James Castillo. And again, the switch. They have one left. They're going to use it and bring Zamora back to forward. So they've used both timeouts. It has been a successful tactic so far as they are leading.
So we've got two, they've used two. Yep. 10 seconds.
You see Dan Barber moving forward. Adrian Zamora moving back to the forward position. So if Adrian does get a possession on the 3-rod, it'll be Mares defending. Right now it's Barber defending Adrian on the 5. Adrian hovers over the ball, brushes it down. A chance to go up 4-1 here. As Zamora and Castillo have certainly answered the challenge after that first game win by Mares and Barber. However, it's Mares, who is one of the great goalies ever, of course, able to take that one away. Shot attempt by Robbie comes back to him. That one back towards Castillo's goal, but not much gets through James. You got to hit good shots to score on James Castillo. He's going to keep the cheap stuff out. And a lot of the expensive stuff as well. Shot down the middle by Mares. Rebound grabbed nicely by Zamora on the 3-rod. It's the MoneyBall final here in Portland, Oregon on March 1st, 2020. Zamora opened a march right through the defense of Mares, but Robbie able to block it and send it back the other way towards Castillo. And that one makes it 4-1.
Good flippy big shot. Yeah, almost. Ready, guys? Ready.
Shot attempt blocked by Castillo, picked up here by Mares. For his second game win, Adrian Zamora. Shot attempt blocked and taken away by Barber. And there's Zamora setting it up, stroking it home. We're tied at 1 game apiece. Game number 3 underway with Robert Mares putting the ball into play, trying to pass it along the wall, and Adrian Zamora starting in the goalie position. Grabs the rebound, sends it up the table to Castillo. Let's see if they'll use one here. I'll let James shoot it. Certainly a very good 3-rod, but there's Barber to knock it down and take it away. And you know that was the plan before this game even started, to make the pass and then allow Castillo to take the shot. That one up the table by Barber, grabbed on the 3-rod by Robert Mares, who will set it up looking to strike first here in game number 3. Robert fires it home far side.
Hey, you know, when we say, hey, good pass, thanks, I'll try to start a clock fresh on that.
Yeah, I won't do it anymore. That was an awesome pass. I couldn't help myself. Doing those, I'm keeping my mouth shut. All right, ready? Ready.
1-0 lead here in game number 3 for Robert Mares and Dan Barber. It's the final of MoneyBall, the 9th edition of this outstanding tournament here in the Pacific Northwest, where there's just so much foosball history. And one of these two teams hoping to make some history here tonight and win $1,500 for their efforts. Barber try to bank that one off the outside wall, does clear it. It's picked up by his partner, Robert Mares, who sets it up and strokes it home. Boy, Mares just playing so well in that forward position. Yes, Mares and Barber, who came out with the first salvo, winning that first game, and then back comes Zamora and Castillo with a strong second game effort as they send Mares and Barber into the corner, and then Mares and Barber get out of that corner and come fighting right back, and they're up 2-0 here in the third. It's going back and forth in this heavyweight battle here on table number 1. Boxing analogies are so easy to use, you know? Big purse at stake. And there's Castillo to make the block and take it away from Mares. And Castillo able to stroke it home. Big time pull shot from goal by Sparky to make it 2-1. And we're going to call timeout.
Thank you. Ready, guys? Ready.
Robert Mares will put the ball back into play. 2-1 lead here in the third game. Tied up at a game apiece. Picked up on the 5 by Zamora. Adrian tried to go along the wall. Blocked by Mares, who is really hustling defensively. Adrian able to brush this one through. He'll set it up. Looking to tie it up here in the third game. Zamora. Try to go inside. Blocked and then saved nicely by Dan Barber. Dan tried to bring it across with a pull shot and pays for it as Zamora makes the block and it popcorns into the goal. We are tied up at 2.
Ready?
And taken away here by Zamora. Of course, Adrian and James must win this first set to take it to a second and final set. Mared's able to pick it up. Tied at a game apiece, tied at 2 goals apiece. The match last night was a close one until the 5th game. And Mares kind of took over. Robert shot attempt blocked and taken away by Castillo. And that one up the table and in. It's 3-2.
Ready?
There comes Mares.
Ready?
Tied at 3. Zamora. We'll call timeout.
How many? Get 5 seconds left.
Oh, well, 4.69. I'm surprised you don't remember you did something.
All right, we restarted the stream. We turned it off, turned it back on. Apparently, it might be a sound delay out there. Let us know if that is the case where you're watching.
No, I'm talking about now after the time in. Oh, yeah, after the second guy. Right.
Are you ready, folks? It's time to play.
One each, okay. One of each. Ready? Yeah.
Ball put back into play by Adrian Zamora, who will shoot for the lead. Zamora strokes it home. Not the best execution. Adrian a little disappointed. It did cut back, but it has given his team a 4-3 lead. Thank you for the comments out there. And, beautiful pass here by Barber. Mares walks it. And fires it home near side.
We need it. Thank you, sir.
It's 4-4. Boy, what a match here on table number 1. The quality of play just so high. These 2 forwards are just so good. And, of course, 2 Hall of Famers here in MoneyBall 2020. It's 4-4 here in the third, even up at a game apiece as Zamora looks to get a possession, try to brush it up, knocked down, almost stolen away by Mares. It is picked up by Castillo. James setting it up on that far goal line. He scored, I believe, 2 in this game so far. Tried to bring that one across with a shot attempt. Rebound grabbed on the 5 by Mares. Robert has played in so many big matches and been in so many huge situations, both here in this country and, of course, internationally. A man who has played on all 10 United States World Cup teams. And that one up the table and in for Castillo, who I believe picked up 3 in that game from goal. It's 2-1. And again, the enthusiasm, the tension. A lot of money at stake here, folks. Again, I'd like to thank our partners, Foosball Premier Leagues, foosleagues.com. That's Warren Van Landingham down in Texas. Warren at foosleagues.com. Dale Carson, and there you see it, Foosball Premier Leagues. Dale Carson Law, Jacksonville, Florida. Thank you, Chris Carson, for being an Inside Food supporter. And if you haven't seen it yet, well, let's show you Dale real quick. There's Dale Carson Law. If you haven't seen it yet, please go rent or watch Foosballers. And I'm guessing most of you have, if not all of you. But an outstanding movie that it is. And there you see it. There's some guy standing down there in front of a foosball table with black pants on. A microphone in his hand.
Come on, Adrian, get in front of something. Good plan, gentlemen. Good job, guys. All right, ready? Ready.
2-1 lead for Adrian Zamora and James Castillo as we open up game number 4. And Adrian and James a game away from sending it to a second set. Grabbed here on the 3-rod by Zamora. And Adrian able to fire that one home. Again, cutting it back between the men of Dan Barber. He's had a couple of those.
All right. Sorry, guys. I was laughing at him. You ready?
Ready.
A great start in this match from Robert Mars and Dan Barber. But Zamora, oh, look at that beautiful brush-up pass where he brought it over slowly, got almost to the wall, and then sent it up at a steep angle to his 3-rod. And follows it up with a goal. Great play by the Hall of Famer Adrian Zamora. It's 2-0.
Ready.
Zamora and Castillo, the enthusiasm of James Castillo, and of course a few goals from back there and some solid defense, and just the consistency of Zamora. I've got them in a position now where they're only 3 goals away from taking it down to one final 3 out of 5. Barber setting it up dead center. Banks or straights? Trying to bring that one at a slight angle on goal. Castillo with a block, comes back to Barber. Dan's going to utilize this series. He really needs to make sure he takes his time. So dangerous to go down the middle against these top players. If you're going to do it, you got to do it right. You got to do it at the right time. That one a pass attempt back up the table where it's grabbed by Zamora. And Adrian misfired, brought it over, and I think he called timeout just in time.
Feeling the heat. That's not a good time. Oh, yeah, actually, it was
10 seconds.
That's behind it.
Let it go.
Behind it.
Yes. I think I'm really done with it finally. Let's start a fire here. What time to play, guys?
Okay, you got one left, you got both, yeah? Ready? Yeah.
All put back into play by Adrian Zamora, looking to make it 3-0 here in this fourth game. Got the block in, the takeaway by Barber.
Ready? Ready.
Dan tried to bring that one back down the middle. Again, it's dangerous against these top players. They're going to block you with a 3 or they're going to block you with a 5, and oftentimes they're going to get a possession out of it like this. And Adrian looking to take advantage of that possession, but Barber able to take it back, but can't hold on to the rebound. Zamora again. Fires it home to that straight hole. It's 3-0. A timeout called by Robert Montes. Robert right now not feeling too good about things. A little disappointed. He's taking a walk.
Ready.
Put back into play, and Mata is able to pass it through and quickly fire it home. So a good timeout results in a goal for Mares and Barber. It's now 3-1. Adrian has this one blocked, but Castillo able to keep it out. James was huge in that previous game when he scored 3 and was so aggressive, so enthusiastic. His energy really drives his team. Here's Barber. Looking at that pass. It almost got through to Mares. That could be a difficult angle to defend when Barber does that rush pass to the wall. Sent up the table and grabbed by Zamora.
Open singles. Cody Byer plays Joseph.
Adrian strokes it home. It's set point for Adrian Zamora and James Castillo.
Open mixed. Ryan Harvey and Sarah Peterson plays Chopper Lee Smith and Jeff Pimpkin on table number 3.
For the win in this opening set, but Barber able to take it away, then can't hold on to the rebound. Another chance for Adrian to send it to set number 2. He sets it up, strokes it home, and there it is. The opening set goes to Adrian Zamora and James Castillo, and we're going to take a few minutes, and we'll come back with that second and final set of the MoneyBall final. And let's head down to table number 1 once again as we now bring you the second set of MoneyBall. Robert Mares, Dan Barber on the left, Adrian Zamora, James Castillo on the right. Best 3 games out of 5. In the 5th game, if it goes to overtime, it's win by 2 to infinity. And perhaps beyond. Here's Castillo, who played a big role in that first set win. But really, it also was the focused effort of Adrian Zamora down the stretch as he worked the 5 and took his time on the 3. As they came back from a 1-0 deficit, and here's Mares looking to strike first here in game number 1. Robert sets it up. Sits, waits, and strokes it home to the far side. Back comes Zamora. Settle in, folks. We could be here for a while. Theoretically, we could be here forever with this format. It is win by 2. until someone wins by 2 in that 5th game. And, of course, you got to get there first. And I know a lot of you watching would love to see that. I'd love to see that. Foosball World, the viewership out there at Inside Foods TV would love to see a match that went to 17-15 or beyond. I recall a match in France back in 2009, Tony Spredeman versus Ryan Moore in a semifinal of singles at the World Championships multi-table, although it was all played on Tornado. And it had that format. 5th game, I believe it ended up going to 15-13 in favor of, I believe it was Moore who won that match. But it was really exciting. Yeah, there's Castillo firing it home to make it 1-1. It used to be that way in tennis, where they would play until basically somebody won by 2 points. There were some matches. In fact, I think there are still a tournament or two. It's still a Grand Slam event that does that. They oftentimes in tennis end up playing for 5 hours. Now we'll see how it all goes. Still early, just 1-1 here in the 1st game. Mares fires it home, and he continues to shoot it well. Robert just so quick laterally and so good at reading the defense and beating the opponent to the punch. Adrian Zamora. Rebound grab by Castillo, who owns the only goal for his team here in this 2nd set. Adrian looking to remedy that as he sets it up against Dan Barber. Zamora looking at the split and tried to go to the long hole. There's Barber out there to make the block and take it away. That split was there, it appeared. Barber trying to pass. It's a good safe play by Dan Barber. Set it up in the center and do that little push pass to the far wall. Tough to spike it. Usually good things are going to happen if you take your time and execute it well. And now Mata is looking to increase his team's lead, and he does. It's 3-1. A timeout called by Zamora and Castillo. Adrian Zamora will put the ball back into play, trailing 3-1 here in the 1st game. And remember that opening set, it was Mares and Barber who came out and won game number 1. Robert has possession on the 5, and he's going to call time out. Robert Mares will put the ball back into play on the 5. Pass attempt with Castillo playing forward now. Let's see James. Adrian able to keep that one out. Shot down the middle, taken away, and grabbed nicely by the soft-handed Robert Mares, who will shoot against Zamora. Robert takes his time. They tried to take it out to that far side, blocked by Zamora. Comes back to Mares, who strokes it home to that far side. So the first time he took his time, went to the far corner. Second time, on the rebound, he set it up and went quick with it to that same far corner. It's just smart play in the steal here by Mares, who can close out game number 1. Shooting against Castillo, who has returned to goal. Shot here by James, rather by Mares, blocked by James, who couldn't hold on to the rebound. Comes back to Robbie once again. It's 1-0. like to remind everybody that about Foosball Premier Leagues. Foodsleagues.com. Send an email to Warren at foodsleagues.com for more information on how you can get involved with this league program as we open up game number 2 with Adrian Zamora putting it into play. And Mares, who has really come out on fire. Robbie was very disappointed after that opening set loss. That shot blocked up into the air and off the table by Castillo. James will put the ball back into play. That one's going to bounce back to him. Barber fires it wide, and Castillo able to scoop it up. 1-0 lead for Robert Mares and Dan Barber. Mares to the near side. It's 1-0. And Zamora lost it. A little fortunate to get it back. We'll look to advance it. Adrian rushing it up beautifully. Kind of a big early possession here for Adrian Zamora. And he takes advantage of it as he strokes home that pull shot against Barber to make it 1-1. Mares able to go through the lane. And continuing to shoot it well. It's 2-1. Robbie rolling. Look at the body language. It's so dangerous when he gets like this. And what can you do as a defender, as an opponent? You got to take some of that momentum away by slowing things down, taking your time, trying to control the tempo. Because right now, Robbie doing what he wants to at his own pace. If you're not able to block him on the table, at least you can slow down the tempo. And hopefully that'll work in your behalf. And again, it's Mares on fire. It's 3-1.
Yes, sir.
Zamora has to try to keep up with him. And Adrian does find the back of the goal here to make it 3-2. One game to nothing lead. This is Castillo up there at forward as Mares simply loses it back to James, who's wondering whether he should call timeout or not, or shoot it. He is going to call timeout, bring Adrian back to forward. Adrian Zamora will put the ball back into play. Setting it up, looking to tie it up here in the second game. Zamora. Trying to go to that straight hole. Really sold it, but Barber able to get a piece of it. It comes back to Zamora. See if he goes back to that straight. Tried to with a quick one. Taken away by Barber. Who will call time out. You kind of had a feeling that Adrian was going to go back to that straight hole. Maybe he waits another second or two before executing it and making sure he does indeed execute it.
One apiece, gentlemen? Yeah. Okay.
Ready? Done.
This is a ball that Adrian Zamora and James Castillo could really use. Castillo pumps that one on goal. Rebound grabbed by Barber. They're down a game, falling behind 4-2 in the second. It would be a difficult situation to come back from. Barber's looking at that pass. He tried it, almost got it through. And again, it's a hard pass to defend. The angle makes it a little bit of a difficult read defensively, which makes it a good, high-quality play, and I'm sure that's something that Mara has talked about. Nice pass here by Castillo. Zamora. Trying to go to that long hole. Barber with a block. It comes back to Adrian. And he strokes it home to make it 3-3. These guys are such competitors. When you're talking about Mares and Zamora, who've been playing this game for so long. In the case of Zamora, better than 40 years. For Mares, right around 30 years. Played in so many big matches against each other as partners and teammates for Team USA and in other situations. Nothing much is going to faze them, but they thrive on this sort of situation. And it isn't always about the money. The money's nice, especially in this event here, but it's about competition. It's about how to compete, how to get the most out of yourself, how to handle stressful situations. These two guys have proven over the years, certainly with their Hall of Fame inductions, it says a lot about their competitiveness and their ability to perform under pressure. Mares will put the ball back into play and look to give his team the lead. Robert walks it. That shot attempt blocked, but then gets through Castillo.
Making sure, because I took the second. Second man. That was the second man.
Used to be.
Okay, I'm glad I said something. Second man, and they have somebody going on the second block, James. Got a break on that one there. Good block.
No, he actually had about 4 seconds.
I know, I'm just saying, I wanted to
Second man, Bob. Second man.
Thank you.
You ready?
Yes.
Zamora now with a chance to even it at 4. And he does. 4-4. Let's see here, we're going to get a switch. They do have timeouts remaining. Castillo moving up. Zamora moving back. As Mares puts it into play.
Open Knicks, Justin Shaw and Laura Constantine plays Ryan Harvey and Sarah Peterson.
Robert Mares puts it into play. We're even at 4 here in the second game. 1-0 lead.
I said he reset me the first time over. It came off the wall.
I did not see it. I didn't see it at the reset. Ready?
Okay. Yes.
Ready?
Sorry. Yes. Sorry to be
Robert
so
hoping for a reset. Didn't get one. This is Zamora back there at goal. Tied up at 4. Castillo gets it. Anticipate a timeout. That shot attempt block comes back towards Adrian's goal. Adrian will call timeout. This is a good play here. Let's bring Castillo back here now. He's a better shooter, I think, than Adrian is, and you want to have Adrian up there in that forward position in case the forward gets possession of it.
I need to let it go, but I got 10 seconds to whine about it.
You have 15 to whine about it. 10 seconds. And time to play, go.
Back to forward comes Adrian Zamora.
That makes it exciting.
Ready?
Yes.
And Adrian puts the ball back into play. Able to pick it up on the 3-rod, a chance to send this one to a third game tied at 1 game apiece. If he scores it, look for an explosion from Castillo potentially. Zamora sets it up. That shot attempt blocked by Barber. Scrambled after with both forwards in that midfield area, but it's Zamora who comes out with it. Adrian tried to brush that one up, kept out nicely by Barber. Couple of good blocks from Dan Barber, one on the pull shot, one on that brush pass that got through on goal. And he's looking to pass, stolen away by Zamora. Adrian. Waiting. Tried to stroke again the long, and there's Barber again to make the block. Picked up on the 5 by Mares. A couple of pass attempts stolen away by Zamora. Adrian brushes that one up into the goal. It's one game apiece.
Yeah, you have to. Yeah, you got to protect it. Go get a bite. That looked like a head coach right there. 30 seconds, folks.
Play all the time back in the Galaxy game days.
Who?
At the arcade I grew up playing, they were playing the song all the time.
Time play.
Is that right? Take you back.
Oh, the song goes down. He's a youngster, man. This is my college days.
Come on, Adrian.
Ready, boys? Good digging.
Good game. Ready?
Ready? Here we go.
Third game underway. Robert Mares putting it into play. Taken away here by Zamora. So almost identically to that first match when Mares and Barber came out and won game 1. Zamora and Castillo able to win the second game, and now Zamora can shoot for the lead here in game number 3. That shot attempt blocked by Barber. Comes back to Adrian. At some point he's going to start pecking away at that middle. He does so here. It's 1-0. If Barber's out there on the long, as he has been the last few possessions, you know that that middle is going to be there, and it's just a matter of timing it correctly. In fact, really, as a pull shooter, especially against the standard defense, if you time it right, if you wait long enough, that split, that good squared off split middle will be there. Nearly every time. At some point. Castillo shot blocked up into the air and off the table. Remains 1-0 here in the third game in favor of Adrian Zamora and James Castillo. We're even at 1 game apiece. Second set, MoneyBall final. And Barber looking to pass, but does get it up there and gives Robert a chance to advance it. He'll set it up, have that one blocked by Castillo. Rebound comes back to Mares. Robert along the wall can tie it up again at 1. And he does.
Ready?
Zamora. Again, trying to go long and looking, you heard it. You heard Mares say it immediately, the recoil. It's a tough one to call. It really has to be obvious. This is Castillo at forward, calling timeout. He'll bring Zamora back to the forward position with possession of the ball on the 5.
That song brings you back to your Five seconds. Sorry, I missed 10 seconds. Time to play. First one? Yeah. 2 and 1. I've got 2. Yeah. Thank you guys. Ready? Yes, sir.
Adrian Zamora will put the ball back into play. Zamora and Castillo leading 2-1 here in the third. Again, that deep rush up by Adrian. Nobody does it better. That pass right there, he gets it so close to the wall, gets such a steep angle on it, and then fires it home. Follows up the great pass with a solid shot. Again, the switch. It's now 3-1. Back comes Mares. And that shot attempt blocked in, taken away by Zamora, who is a very good defender. And shot down the middle by Adrian, though. Blocked back into the goal by Mares on the 5. Barber moving forward. Mares back to goal. It's now 3-2. Adrian going up against the defensive 5 of Dan Barber, able to brush it through. And a timeout called by Adrian Zamora.
Big ball here. Yeah, get this block. We're looking good. Well done. It's all right.
10 seconds.
We have 2. So we have 2. We're out.
And time to play, folks.
Ready?
Zamora will put the ball back into play. Shooting against Mares. Adrian fires it home down the middle. It's 4-2.
Ready?
Back comes Robbie. And there's Castillo to take it away. Trying to bank it up into the air and off the table. 4-2 lead here in game number 3 for Adrian Zamora and James Castillo as Dan Cheese Barber puts the ball back into play. Banks it off the outside wall on goal. Kept out by Castillo, who holds on to the rebound. And fires it home.
All the way back.
It's 2-1.
He didn't mean to cut it all the way back, but that was a shot. That was a great shot.
Yeah, great miss.
Well,
I was here. He did.
Right here. He didn't cut it back at all. He hit it right here.
I thought it went
It
in
went
here.
right here.
He came. No, I was here. He came in front.
That was definitely right over here. Right here. It was right over
right in there.
It was right there. He didn't cut it back.
Don't make it much matter. He was in the hole, baby. In the hole.
I hate that shot of his. 1 minute.
Yeah, I don't know if you mishit that or not. It's just another shot.
Doesn't matter.
Yeah, it's in the hole.
And don't forget, in about a month from now, the 2020 Las Vegas Hall of Fame Classic coming up at the Golden Nugget Hotel. Make your travel plans to be there, and if you can't, of course, you can watch it live at Inside Foos TV.
Come on, Adrian. Get in front of something. Come on.
Thought he's high-fiving.
Let me get some love.
So, Adrian Zamora,
Ready, boys?
James Castillo, now just a game away from the MoneyBall title and a $1,500 payday. See how Mares and Barber respond. Mares can't connect on the pass. It comes back to Castillo. James looking to pass it. Sent back to him with a 5 by Mares. Dan Barber. Here's Adrian. And the block by Dan. Rebound comes back to Zamora. He fires it home down the middle. It's 1-0.
Ready?
Mares can't hold on to it. Grabbed by Castillo. So a lot of the steam, a lot of the wind has been taken out of the sails of Robert Mares and Dan Barber. They've got to find a way to generate some momentum and try to come back from this 2-1 deficit. Shot by Castillo on goal. Couple of things. The 5-row, the number of possessions that Zamora is getting. He's getting more than Mares is at this stage. And James Castillo is outplaying Dan Barber in the goalie position. And Zamora will call timeout.
Under 1 second when you call that. That was impressive. You got that clock just when that 1 second when you called it. He does it.
Where's Teddy at?
He's timed for it. He's up. Seconds.
All right, they got one. You guys got 2. I got it.
Time play.
Ready? Yeah.
Zamora will put the ball back into play and set it up. It's 2-0. Robert Mares and Dan Barber in both sets have come out to win the opening game. The first set, Zamora and Castillo came back to get the next 3. In this case, they've come back to get 2 in a row, and now they're up 2-0. And as you can see, the energy really has been drained from the left side of the table. They're going to need a break or a big play by somebody in order to kind of initiate that once again. Nice save there by Barber. Dan tried to bank that one off the outside wall. Castillo sends that one towards the goal. Rebound grabbed by Zamora. It's 3-0.
Ready?
Adrian Zamora, James Castillo now just 2 goals away from the 2020 MoneyBall Doubles Championship, and Robert Mares needs a timeout.
Okay, one time out of you guys.
Can I?
Yeah, whatever you got.
Ready?
Ready?
Robert Mares will put the ball into play. Again, you can see Robbie just not with that same sharpness that he had early on. Credit the defense of Castillo, but really credit the play of Adrian Zamora. He has passed it well, he has shot it well, and remains an outstanding player. And the bank off that outside wall, nicely performed by Barber. So maybe that will get them started on a comeback. It's 3-1. We get the switch. Mares moving back. Barber forward. Dan working the defensive 5, but again, Adrian feeling comfortable with that big brush-up pass. He'll set it up against Robert, looking to pull within 1 of victory. It's championship point for Adrian Zamora and James Castillo. What a great performance by these 2 players out of Northern California who are now just a goal away from the MoneyBall title. And there it is. Great performance by Adrian Zamora and James Castillo, who come back from the loser's side to double dip. Robert Mares and Dan Barber and win the 2020 MoneyBall Doubles Championship. Outstanding performance by these two players from Northern California.